All right, so we'll continue from where we stopped. So we're opening our IDE. So last time we had a few issues. Let's just run it. So we know for certain. I think if we go to the database, we have those two QQ and Snapchat. So if we run, let's do Snapchat. Okay, we are able to get this, but then there's an anomaly here. We are not getting the language that was used for development. We are getting these two. So if we check the database, we have both of them have got languages. So we just need to change a few things and then it will be fine. Okay, so what we'll do is, but before we proceed with that fix, just to be consistent, I'll change this one to, it's not sometimes this is a nuisance. What am I doing? Okay, copy, paste. I just want to be consistent with my so it's a mixture of camel case. There are certain cases where I'm using I didn't just get to have a standardized naming convention, but yeah, just to wherever I can, let me have that. All right, so that one has changed to that, and then it means that this, where is that again? Was that for language? Language, yeah, that list is now a capital L. And then so the time that I changed this one to try, I was trying to count the spaces, but ideally let's keep double quotes as our I was thinking that the error was in the number of spaces, that's why I'd use single quotes. But let's see, let's maintain double quotes. And then what other thing do we need to change? The other thing that we need to change is we need to change all right, so this says okay, I'm going to say complete list here, so that we just, this one we are saying complete list. Okay, so this is complete list. Okay, that doesn't solve our problem yet, but I just wanted us to QQ. What's the issue? Language development lists 229. So there's a place where that can be 229. Let's go. I think it's there's one that is still having a single L. Language development lists. All right, I think it's this one here. All right, so if we run it, Snapchat, all right, we're still getting an error. 22. All right, so I think the error is here when we are doing it. So here we needed to change it as well. Okay, so now if we do Snapchat, so what I'm going to do also, when we load this form, I think it's important that we set that focus to that. All right, why is it not giving us there's still an error? line 194, 194, 194, 194, app development, okay, complete list, QQ. All right, so that is sorted. Now there's only one property that we needed to set. So on each container, there is a property called export selection. Export selection. So this one has to be set to false or set to 0. So the whole idea is, okay, let's just see what it will do for that one. Snapchat. All right, now you see that we have selection there, and then we have selection there. So the whole idea of export is actually supposed to be export selection. I didn't know that export select works. All right, that's interesting. Snapchat. All right, now it's giving us that. So the whole idea is that what this does is that when a list box loses focus, it will still keep the previous selection that you had set. That's what it basically does. But under the hood, there's a lot of things going on, which is the gated in the X windowing system of Windows. But I think for this course we won't go into that detail. All that we need to know is that this export selection retains, it allows the widget to retain its selection even if it has been so you can still see what was selected. So here I use the false, here we use 0, which is one and the same thing basically. So if we say, all right, I think let's when we load this form, what I want us to do, all right, when the form is loaded, I want us to set, okay, once we've declared, let's see, maybe we can put, okay, let's put it here. So what we want to do is each time that we run app code, text must set focus. Okay, so it automatically goes into that text box, Snapchat. All right, so we are happy thus far. So this has allowed us to let me just try something quickly. All right, so this has allowed us to so we've done it has allowed us to do that button, the search button. We've done the clear button, we've done the exit button. Now we need to do the save button and the update button. All right, so what we need to do now is to go to let's go to the save button. All right, so what we need to do is we need to go into the button for create. So basically what we want to do with this button is that we want to be able to, so let us just for the sake of time, what we're going to do, we are going to, all right, to copy that section. So you observe that okay, let's just do this. So you observe that this line of code has been declared elsewhere. This line of code has been declared. So function things like this we can put this in a function, and instead of having to repeat this, we can just call a function. Okay, but that is the housekeeping that we do at a later stage. So ideally I would want to, because you see, this this is being repeated in more than one place. That is an ideal situation to use a function. All right, so what we are going to do now is we are going to say, um, all right, because now this is the one for creating. So the assumption is that once everything has been typed, incorrectly, we need to insert it into a table. So what we are going to do is that we are going to write a statement. We are going to say insert into this table. Okay, what do we want to insert? We want to insert these field names, this list of field names, all of them up to here. Okay, and then we'll say values. So it's just like the syntax that we use in a SQL. It's all right. So we don't need that one. So how many fields are these? These fields are 10. I think 1, 2, 3. So they are 10. So what we need to do, we need to have 10 placeholders. So S, $S. All right. So these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we don't need that one. All right. Now, where are we getting these values from? So we are getting these values from, so what I'm going to do, okay, let's just say we're saying insert as a matter of fact. So that one goes up to there, and then now we specify where we are getting these values from. So these values, okay, that is a, okay, that one is coming from that one. Okay, let me just see if I can get a list of those objects from somewhere where we have them readily available. Okay, we may just have to type them in. Okay, the next one is app name, underscore text dot get. The next one is app users underscore text dot get. The next one is app core. So what I'm going to do, so for these ones, we are going to extract them from their various objects. So for that one, we'll say app core because that's the name that we have in the database. Then we have these ones now, business. Okay, so these ones I'll just copy them. As a matter of fact, these ones up to here, I'll copy them. Alright, so all these, what we are doing is we are saying dot get dot get get dot get. Okay, and then for the languages, what we need to do for language and what we need to do is we need to declare all right, let's say, I think let's say let's do, okay, how are we going to do this? All right, I think let's create this environment first, because I think it's important. All right, let's say, okay, let me copy this. I know it's a bit of a tricky situation, but we need to do this. All right, let's do this. So for this one, we are getting it from the text box. So for these, we don't do anything. All right, let's go and see app core. The only thing that we need to do, you see this app core here. In fact, let's make it capital, that one. App core, I'll set it to a string var. All right, then the next one, I'm going to declare two. Okay, what I'm going to do, okay, I'll say one of them is so these ones where we're using get is fine. It's only where we need to do some other, that is a development list, where we do further logic that we need to, okay, okay, then this one is also, there's a little bit of logic here that we have to do. String var, is that name all right? Okay, I'm going to call that D. All right, so if that was a D, then I think there's a place where, because I copied that from somewhere, I don't like that naming. We should be consistent. All right, we're going to call it that, and then app comment, I think we also need another variable called app comment, because we will need to app comment. Okay, all right, okay, app comment. All right, so for the things that we can't list here, so what I'm going to do is, for this one, okay, app development language, okay, I'm putting it there. App development listing, I'll put it here, and I'm also going to put I think app comment can also come from what must we do with app comment? Let's do app comment. All right, okay, we'll just get app comment, close bracket. But you see, this is giving us is going to give us a problem. So what we're going to do, okay, it's looking fine. Once then we are going to shorten it. All right, so where do we get app core from? So app core, okay, so we've declared app core as a variable. Maybe we can do it immediately after. So we are going to say app core. Okay, app core comes from core mode, which is a variable that is being used in the list boxes, and then we say get. We'll have solved that one. Next, where do we get this one? Okay, this one we are getting it from the list of okay, so it's called the first one, list development language. Now there's something that we've not have not explained, but I think I will explain it here. Python, like I said in my introduction, is one of the few languages where you can write very short code to do a task that in other languages would ordinarily take very long. And one of those semantics of the language is called list comprehension. So this syntax here I'm writing is an example of list comprehension. So what list comprehension does in a nutshell is that you are able to compress a statement, several statements, into one. I like particularly the ones that have to do with the for loop. I like to use list comprehension there. So this is an example of, so I'm saying for, so to read this I'm saying for, I'll call this idx, for index in, okay, this list, okay, for the index in this list, okay, do select, okay, it's actually okay, so selection, yeah, that's fine. It's actually a function. It's actually a function. It's a very interesting concept. One has to get around it to appreciate it. But I think with time, one would get to speed with it. So the same, I'm applying it here, and then I'm saying, okay, so this we are getting from, okay, that, and here is that list, the other list for whether the company is listed or not. Okay, here we code it app developer list. Okay, so we put it here, app developer list, app developer list. Okay, and then that is fine. We need to do okay, so that one we don't need, that's far. The only thing that we need is that this app comment equals, now it's not a deletion, it's actually a get. Okay, we are getting it from there. So now this looks fine. We need to we'll bring in a few, so once we are happy with our statement, we can commit it. So what committing does is that it saves in the database. Once that one is done, then we can do db close. All right, so what we're going to do, of course, we are going to introduce messages to see, but let's just see if when we run it, let's see if it will give us let's see if we don't have all right, so that is an outright no. Okay, dbkesa dot commit, so it means that the line on top here, okay, so that open bracket, it closes here, this open bracket, bracket, that that bracket is closed. So what is causing the problem? If we run it, 226 226 226 has got an issue. 226, what is the issue with 226? We need, alright, it's actually this one. We close it, and then db dot close also. All right, it's actually, you commit on the, sorry, you commit on this one. So now if we run it, all right, what is the issue? What is the issue? Okay, did we declare our db? So we have our db there. All right, we have our connection. Okay, we have use, we have so the issue is most probably with our execute statement. Let us see, why is it so? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it into all right, so we do the insert, those variables, we are happy with them. Okay, those are the field names in the, okay, in the database. Is it called app comment? Let's just go and see quickly. App comment, that's fine. All right, so we've done that listing. Then we're saying values. Okay, so after that, what could be the issue here? We've done that listing, values. Sometimes, but that's not the issue. I like it in one db.commit. So the issue is actually on this and the error is not very explicit, so sometimes we have to struggle to find errors if they're not okay, let's do this. All right, so syntax, what is causing this problem? What is causing this problem? Okay, we'll see what is